Hello everyone, it's Mike Lazar here. Welcome back to the channel. And before we begin today's video, I would like to thank you guys for helping me reach 500 subscribers on the channel, which for me is kind of crazy because I was not expecting Byzantine Chant to have that much of an audience, but I'm very glad it has grown to where it is. Also, you might notice the setup is a little differently. We are currently in the dorms right now, but I will be filming most of the large videos at the other location with the more professional camera and setup. So basically, in today's video, I wanted to go over the music directory, so how to find music and stuff in English. Now, the place I do most of my video stuff from is saintanthonismonastery.org. Now, the way you navigate it, we go back to where we were. We go to Media, Divine Music Project, Byzantine Notation, and it has everything. Now, all this stuff is based off of the Greek repertoire, but I personally really like the music on this website. I think it's very well written. The text is very, very nice, and it doesn't make too many musical sacrifices or text sacrifices. I think it's definitely very, very strong. You might notice in most of my videos, this is what I use, just because I think it's easier if you want to teach things to standardize it, and I think this is a very good place to standardize music. The next place is Ages Initiative. So what happens if you look up Ages Initiative online, you want to go to the one that says Digital Chant Stand. Now it comes up in split screen. You go to the date you want, you go to the service. Let's say I want Divine Liturgy. Comes up with the whole thing. This is good depending on where you are, right? So a lot of churches in the Antioch and Archdiocese don't really use Ages too much, just because of the text. The translation's a little different than what they're used to. And the Greek Archdiocese, a lot of them like to use this text specifically. And this is very, very useful to have. Let's say you're doing an impromptu service, you don't have time to prepare everything. All the text and all the music is there, so it's very, very nice. So you would go to the date you want the music. So let's say I want to go to daily services by date. I want to go to September. Let's say I want to celebrate the Nativity of Theotokos. You would go here. You would go to Vespers, and it's all here. It's very, very easy to use, and I think this is definitely something. Though the music, some of the music here is not the most technically challenging, but it's very nice to have if you want to teach beginner stuff or make sure everyone's on the same page. The next resource that I like to use is the Antioch and Archdiocese website. A lot of the stuff they have is from Kazan, but a lot of the stuff they have is also from people like Father John Rossim, and they also have people like Shadi Karam who write music for the Archdiocese, and they have some pretty decent stuff on here. For example, the Doxasticon and All Tones for the Dormition of the Theotokos, I chose from this just because I thought it was the best rendition in English that I could find. Again, you go to the date you want, so you go to Vespers of the day, and usually you press on the text and it comes with what you want. Now this is Western notation. There is some Byzantine stuff in here, but again, if you're familiar with Western notation, this is just like a substitute in. Overall, I would not go to the Antioch Archdiocese directly for the actual music itself, unless I know what I'm looking for, right? If it's a nice Doxasticon, I choose it from here, right? But usually for the Lord I Have Cried and stuff like that, I would resort back to St. Anthony's Monastery. The next resource I like is Englishmeneon.com. In my opinion, the people who write the music here write very, very nice compositions, and they're very easy to read. So let's say you want something from December, for example, something close to Christmas, you might choose here. They have the music here, and it's well organized in my opinion, and the music is very nice to read. I would say it's a little bit limited on the liturgical stuff. They do have more stuff than before, but again, you're gonna come here for the Meneon stuff, the things that changes on a day-to-day basis, as opposed to the more common stuff like Vespers or Orthros. Now, once you have the music you want, how do you organize it? Well, I would recommend you get your choir a nice Google Drive account and kind of organize it through there, or if you have another file sharing thing like Dropbox, that's very, very useful. And the way we organize it is we start very broad with Byzantine music, and then we divide it up into the categories. We have Divine Liturgy, Meneon, which is just like days of the year, Orthros, Heraclius stuff. You have the stuff for Pascha. Now they say Pascha season. I would, you might want to prefer to separate these. Just depends on what you're into and stuff. But that's one way you can organize them. You could also just separate them out completely. The next thing, we have some Psalms, Sacraments, Service Books, Vespers. So let's look a little bit more how we organize the Orthros stuff. We just separate it into some of the compositions from websites here. Now for the Meneon stuff, and the Vespers is the same thing as Orthros as well as Liturgy. The Meneon stuff, we like to organize it by months. And then here we have some of the important feast days that we usually celebrate at our church. Again, depending on where you are, you might add or subtract some stuff. But overall, having a nice cloud sharing system for the entire choir is very useful in my opinion. And these are the main resources I use. Now I do write some of my music and I do sing it at church, but I haven't shared any of it yet, just because one, setting up the infrastructure for sharing music is a little bit tedious, and I would like to expand to that during the winter. Right now things are a little bit hectic. Also, some of my music I would like to proofread again and make sure it's really nice before putting it out there. But again, at my church, sometimes if I write something and I really like it, I might as well just put it in with the church stuff. Now if you have somebody at your church who likes to compose music, maybe they don't want to publish it, but maybe just keep it for the church. Having a church or a nice directory for your music at the church is very nice. So I hope you found the video helpful. Again, this one is not as much information as other ones, like theory stuff. This is more just like record keeping and bookkeeping. So if you found the video helpful, I would greatly appreciate if you liked and subscribed. Again, thank you for helping me reach 500 subscribers on the channel. That's really awesome. I'm really grateful for that. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one, and have a great day.